A name you forsook long ago.
Not willingly.
The original Sub-Zero, formerly known as Bi-Han, now Noob Saibot. An ex-servant of Quan Chi, Noob Saibot survived the Soulnado and is now ready to fight using his shadow clones and long-ranged attacks. A commander of the screen space and excellent damage output, this Choose Your Destiny covers a zero-to-hero experience of starting out with Noob and covering a variety of advanced topics. In no time at all, let's go from complete beginner to a proud member of the Brotherhood of Shadow.
You cannot run forever.
We'll start things off with his standout buttons. Down 4 is 9 frames and plus 19 on hit. It's an excellent button to use up close as when it connects, Noob gets to check with advancing buttons like forward 2. Down 3 is a fast low poke with good range, works in harmony with his down 4. Forward 3 is a single hit launcher, works for anti-air, a standalone punish, or can be used in combos to extend with as well. Back 3 hits low and sports fantastic range. This can keep the opponent in check at ranges they might underestimate. Back 2 is a 12 frame mid. It's pretty fast, safe on block, and sends the opponent far away on hit. This is an extremely useful mid check to catch the opponent during the neutral phase. Back 1 is the other mid. It's shorter range, but much faster in 9 frames of startup, and this is your go-to point-blank option. Finally, Noob's down 2 has a massive hitbox and is very fast on startup, a wonderful button in general.
You are worse than a revenant.
Because Quan Chi perfected me.
Noob Saibot is a character heavily based around his combo strings. 112 hits 3 times, starts off a fast high and ends in overhead. The overhead can catch people off guard occasionally, but it's vulnerable to flawless block, so be careful. 113 has the same starter but ends in a kick that can be special cancelled. This is your main grounded punish. It links perfectly into special moves and in Dark Sabbath is your key to major damage because of amplified teleport. 113 can start, link, or end combos depending on what you choose. It is a wonderful combo string. Back 1 1+3 is the main mid option that you'll be going for. It can be special cancelled once more, opening up the paths to multiple damage options, and will restand if used after a juggle. When in doubt, this string will always work, allowing you to end combos or extend them. Back 1 1+3 is the ender to this string, but will only ever be used for crushing blow, and I'll get into this later. Back 3 1+3 starts from the long-ranged back 3 normal, and will side switch on hit. This is useful mid-combo for repositioning, especially if you're in the corner. 212 launches on hit, and is safe on block in -4. It begins combos, and is easily confirmable into teleport mid-screen. In the corner, it's open season for what your options are. Forward 221 begins from an advancing high, but is once again safe on block in -3. On hit, you can confirm this into specials, and on block you're completely safe. This string can be ended with forward 2212, but is only ever used to end combos. You'll be using Noob Saibot strings often, especially because a lot of them are pretty safe and definitely hit confirmable. Get used to their starting ranges, and use them alongside your ranged pokes.
Your cursed evil will be mine.
Now, before I get started on the specials, please understand that as Choose Your Destiny is for those looking to get competitive, I'll only be focusing on the competitive and tournament legal variations. When it comes to Noob's base specials, Shadow Tackle, performed with back forward 2, causes Noob to send his clone outwards running in a straight line towards the opponent. It knocks down on hit, but will vanish if Noob takes damage while the clone is in motion. Amplify this for an extra hit for even more damage. Rising Shadow Kick, or Up Clone, as some people refer to it as, performed with down back 4, hits high, but is only ever used as anti-air or in combos. In the corner, it launches for a follow-up. Teleslam, down up, is a grounded teleport that deals decent damage. Pretty slow on startup compared to other teleports, but highly effective against some projectiles nonetheless. Amplify this for extra damage. Believe it or not, they're actually the only universal moves that Noob has. From here, the variations change him quite a bit. Noob's two variations offer different gameplay experiences. One is focused purely on range control, and the other offers greater combo potential and up-close options. Seeing Double gains the following. Ghost Ball is a high projectile with long startup. Performed with back forward 1, it's unblockable and will drain the opponent's offensive and defensive meter. Don't go to this too often though, as it takes a long time to start up and leaves you at great risk. Only use it in deceiving situations. Shadow Slide is the return of Noob's low clone, a straightforward kick with fast startup and knockdown properties. This is an addition to Noob's already effective pokes, giving him even more range than he had too. This variation also gets the Air Teleslam, the ability to input the teleport while airborne. The neat thing here is that the air teleport has faster startup than the grounded one, meaning you can instant air this move to get it out a little bit faster. It's pretty tricky input wise, but definitely possible and worth learning if you're gonna play Seeing Double. Fundamentally, this variation loses mid-screen combo potential, but gains added range. It's not as popular as the other one, but it has a little bit more to offer those that like strict range-based only gameplay. Dark Sabbath is the second variation and by far the most popular. Spirit Ball replaces the Ghost Ball, but shares the back forward 1 input. It's a traditional projectile, faster on startup and recovery, decent damage, and leaves the opponent standing if it hits grounded. It's also +5 on hit, so in the corner, end a combo with the back 1 restand into Spirit Ball and take your turn. Sickle Port only works in the air, and it's done with down back 4. The regular version allows Noob to teleport to the Sickle's location, and when amplified, Noob will attack with a launcher on the other side. It's unsafe on block in -9, but can definitely catch people off guard. Dark Sabbath gains the ability to attack with a different teleport. This version, when amplified, launches the opponent for a follow-up. This move right here is the skeleton key that unlocks all of Noob Saibot's combo potential by itself. Use it off most confirms, and combos are extended significantly. This is why Noob Saibot players favour this variation. It lets you hit way harder in general.
What is dead cannot die.
Crushing blows are crucial to most characters, and Noob is no exception. First and very importantly, Noob Saibot gets a crushing blow off both of his regular grabs. Both are tied to escape failed, allowing the next grab to crushing blow for a whopping 31% damage. The reason this is so vital is because Noob Saibot will struggle to open up talented opponents, as Noob doesn't have a basic overhead or low mix-up. Grabs are your way of mixing up the opponent when you get in, and the crushing blow off both directions helps this so much. Back 1 1+3/2 will crushing blow if the back 1 is a counter hit or punish. Again, this will be used almost once a match because the back 1 is a counter hit beast if the opponent is trying to mash out of your offense. The added benefit is that it's all unbreakable. Teleport combos are all breakawayable, and this back 1 crushing blow is fully guaranteed as it hits grounded throughout. Back 3 1+3 crushing blows into a huge juggle under the circumstances that the opponent is stand blocking. This one does lead into crazy damage if you're in Dark Sabbath, but the thing is, it realistically doesn't hit smart opponents, as Noob has no standing overhead, and the back 3 will only really attack if it hits from back 3 range, so there's no reason why they would stand in any situation. This is a cool idea, but in real matches, don't expect to see it much. Finally, Shadow Tackle's Amplify can crushing blow into big damage if, before it, Noob has connected 10 Shadow moves or more. This only counts for specials and doesn't include any string or normal that uses the clone at all. Dark Sabbath isn't likely to get this, as 10 tackles or upkicks is a tall order for 3 rounds. but I always considered this a seeing double crushing blow, because the low slide is a shadow move, and it hits regularly because of its speed and range. Keep a mental note of how many clones you've hit, and maybe you can get this in a real match for a one-time payout.
I was killed unjustly.
For that, Scorpion lost my trust.
That is not justice.
Now we've covered all of Noob Saibot's moves, here are a few gameplay suggestions for newcomers. Grabs are your best friend. You need them to establish mix-ups with this character as, like I said earlier, he lacks traditional overheads and lows and doesn't have a huge amount of staggers either besides forward 2-2. Once you start grabbing the opponent and they start either crouching or mashing pokes, that's where your back 1 destroys them into big damage because it's a fast mid. Back 1/1+3 is pretty unsafe on block. Some characters will be able to punish this consistently, but some also can't. You need to get used to which characters have an answer for it and play around this back 1 accordingly. It's good to use by itself, but the full string requires you to dedicate to it. That said, you can't special cancel this string on block, so if you're doing back 1/1+3, just input the teleport anyway, and if it hits, the opponent gets comboed. There's really no reason not to input a special on block just in case it hits. 2-1-2's attack animation looks like Noob Saibot is going in for a grab to a lot of players. The motion of reaching out and touching them is what players look for when reacting to grabs to tech. If they read this wrong and the 2-1-2 hits, it's a free launch. If they block it, it's only -4. 2-1-2 is a go-to option if you're point blank and you're trying to establish the threat of grabs. It will keep the opponent squirming. When ending combos in back 1/1+3, you have 3 options. Spirit Ball for less damage but plus frames, Shadow Tackle for positioning, and Teleport for max damage. Keep all 3 of these in mind and decide on the fly which is the most useful for you at the time. Dash buffering is really important to a lot of Noob Saibot's combos. After Amplified Teleport or forward 3, always make sure that you input forward dash just before the move recovers. You often need this extra distance to catch the rest of the combo and make sure that it connects properly. Noob Saibot's Fatal Blow is a full screen strike. Its armored properties means that you can beat moves with it on reaction, counter projectiles, and absorb some close range pressure if you have nothing else available. Not every character has an answer to it full screen either, so don't be afraid to use it at distance versus some characters. It can be an additional part of your full screen game. Cashing out with it in combos leads to deceiving damage as well. Before we end things, here are a few combos in both variations to get you started. Mess around with these and you'll build up some muscle memory for the real matches to come. Fundamentally, Noob Saibot is a footsie-based character with decent mids and excellent range. His moveset may cause him to lose versus a good life lead, but if you have a solid round start, you have a lot of tools for controlling the general pace of the match. A highly effective character for hitting hard and punishing big time. Learn your combos and make opponents regret that unsafe wake up or down one they shouldn't have mashed out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Fatality. Noob Saibot wins.